inspire and empower you and ignite the fire of success within you so that you can ignite and take flight in every area of your life. We are here tonight with another great show with another powerful influencer that is intended to be here just for you.
Hello and welcome back to the Lotus Richey Ignite Show. I'm super happy to have you with me today. So come on in and get in where you fit in because I've always got room around my table for you. So I want to thank all of you for tuning in last night. We had people from all over the world chiming in and talking about this thing that we call collaboration. Now, many of you are entrepreneurs out there and have had the honor and the privilege to collaborate with other entrepreneurs. But what we found last night with my awesome guest, I had Mr. Terrence Leffridge, Mr. Unstoppable himself, and of course, Mr. Saccone Prince, we call the King of Leadership. They were both on the show with me last night, and we talked about how people can move to the next level of leadership in their life. But in order to do that, oftentimes we have to collaborate. And so last night we talked about collaboration and how it cultivates currency. So tonight we're going to do the replay. So come on in and get in where you're fitting because I've always got room around my table for you. And make sure you go ahead and get your notepad and your pen. Why? And I'm going to show you my notepad. And I always write stuff in it. Note takers are money makers. So get your pen, and it doesn't matter what your pen looks like. See how my pen looks? Get your pen and get your notepad and get ready to take some great notes because we are about to jump onto a voyage as we explore how collaboration can cultivate currency. Okay, so stick with me. We'll be right back and we're going to get this party started. Hi, many people are looking for ways to enhance their business and expand their reach on social media. Well, if you're one of those people, look no further. Just join the StreamYard introduction on October 15th at 3 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time, hosted by Miss Ignite&TakeFlight herself, Lotus Richey, and the visibility strategist, Miss Patricia Rogers, along with Randy Ward and Regeline Sabbath as they host the StreamYard introduction. Get in front of the people that you want to be seen by to turn your leads into conversions. See you there. Remember, October 15th, 3 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. EDD time. Get your tickets on Eventbrite now. All right. So thank you so much. So we're going to get right into business and we're going to share with you the replay, the remix of how one can collaborate and create currency. So here we go. Enjoy.
But Saccone, talk about this whole ideal about collaboration and leadership and how it can cultivate currency.
Collaboration is the ability to work with somebody towards a common goal. There she is.
Woo-hoo!
Here
You came right into the collaborative conversation.
You know it.
Exactly. But in fact, collaboration is the ability to work together towards a common goal. And when it comes to being in business, you have to realize, especially starting off, that you really don't have everything that you need. Like you may be talented, you may be gifted, but do you have everything that you need? And you're going to have to trust somebody else. Now, oftentimes, you don't have the funds necessary in order to do that. But there are some things that you can do so that it will be a mutually beneficial relationship. And that's where collaboration comes in.
Yes.
So I actually know the actual difference between being an invoice and being an asset.
Mm.
The difference between being an invoice and being an asset, because the invoice you pay to go away. But an asset, you realize that there's something that you can actually, that's someone or that's something that can be utilized, not just now, but in the future. And so building those types of relationships with individuals is what really sets you apart from your competition, because you realize that it has to be a win-win-win, a win for you, a win for them, and a win for the goal that y'all are going after.
Yes, I love it. I like that, because many people, I wonder how many of you understand the difference really between the invoice that you're being or the asset that you're being to the team that you're a part of, because that's really crucial. What are your thoughts on that, Terrence?
Well, you know what? I love what he said about that, because you, in any collaboration, an effective collaboration comes out of the power within that collaboration. I mean,
Yes.
I believe in the power within collaboration so much that I wrote a book about it many years ago called The Power of Collaboration. Now,
yes.
See it because of this virtual background.
Bring it out.
We knew many years ago, especially as men, Saccone and I knew that there is power in collaboration. And it's something that as men, we don't tend to do a lot. We tend to compete versus collaborate. And there's an African proverb that says that if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go with the team. And a lot of us men have been conditioned to go fast and alone, as opposed to going far and with the team. And that's why collaboration is so important, because that power in that collaboration, that value in that collaboration is far reaching versus what you can do by yourself.
Yes, I concur. I concur. So another thing that a lot of people often ask is, what inspires people to really collaborate? And what is the fundamental keys to entrepreneurship? Is it a fundamental key? Collaboration. Saccone, you want to take that one?
Yes. What inspires people to collaborate is the realization that they are limited. I tell people all the time, when you lack resources, you have to become resourceful. I'm going to say that again. When you lack resources, you have to become resourceful. And one of those, in being in fact resourceful, you begin to identify people that actually have what you need, and you start to work and build a relationship in order so that there can be a mutually beneficial, in fact, relationship like between the two. And being a small business owner, you have to take that stance, because without that, you'll find yourself, quite frankly, dying on the vine. You know, you have to be willing to kind of put your pride aside, able to work with somebody and barter, if you will, in order to be able to accomplish your, not just your goal, but again, mutually beneficial. You have to help them reach their goal as well. Zig Ziglar said it like this: in order for you to get what you want, you have to help other people get what they want. And it is so true. It is so true when it comes to collaboration.
I like that. And what are your thoughts on the being resourceful, T? Because I know you and I have gotten together on your show, my show, the Coach's Corner, other people's show, and we were really, really resourceful, and we expanded our reach. So what are your thoughts on becoming more resourceful?
You know, they say two heads are better than one.
Yes.
But I want to share a quick story with you. There's a horse and a carriage, or if you want to look at oxen. Oxen, they've been birthed to carry the load back in the day, and they would carry that cart. And sometimes that cart would get too heavy for that one ox. And then they would add a second ox into the mix. And when you added that second ox into the mix, when you added that resource, then the power of the two ox combined actually was not just as powerful as two ox by themselves, but it became as powerful as twice as many 4, 5, 10 times as much power pulling that cart when you just add one more ox into the mix. So, it's not conventional math. Conventional math says 1 + 1 = 2. But when you add the resources of an additional person in the form of collaboration, 1 + 1 can actually equal 11. And that's
wow. Yes. And this is how we can enhance our businesses, folks. If you are ready to enhance your business, put a number 3 in the comment block below, because collaboration can help you and anyone you know enhance your business. So let's go right to Sakoni. Sakoni, how has collaborating with others enhanced your business?
It's enhanced my business because it allowed me to have a further reach, being able to reach customers and clients that I would not have normally gotten in front of, and actually building those relationships, and again, mutually beneficial, helping people out, giving and providing value to them. They also do the same thing for me. So it allows me to get great exposure. And we all know right now that eyeballs on the screen is king. I mean, that's why everybody has a free streaming service or free something, because everybody's paying to get in front of that audience. And so collaborating with individuals, with companies, helps you to actually expand your reach and your footprint by having access to their audience and their tribe.
I love it. I love it. So, T, how has collaboration helped you enhance your global reach? Because I know that many of the times you and we did a lot with people right here in the United States, and then we began to branch out globally. And some of us, even on this platform, we had already spoken globally. We had already written #1 international best-selling books. But how has collaborating for you helped you to have an enhanced global reach?
Well, I'm glad you asked that question, Lotus, because here's the thing. There used to be that phrase that it was 6 degrees of separation between you and the next person. Well, with the internet and with the ability to network and collaborate, that adage is no longer correct. It's probably even less than 1 to 1 because of the internet. I mean, let's just look at the screen right now. I met you through a collaboration with somebody else.
Yes.
I met Sakoni through a collaboration with somebody else. And iron sharpens iron. And when you find somebody through that collaboration that is a good person, that is a go-getter, that has the ability to network and connect and can put you in contact with like-minded people like yourself, then you hold on to that person. But here's the other thing. You tell other people about that person. And then so on, and then so on, and then so on. Sakoni and I were part of a powerful speaker group called the Black Belt Speakers International Group. I said international.
International.
Speakers don't just speak in their own city, they speak all around the world. And it's through that collaboration that I have been able to speak all around the world. And then I connected with you, and then I was able to be introduced to audiences in parts of the world that I hadn't been to as of that point. I mean, we've got people on right now that are watching us from the Philippines, and it's Tuesday morning and it's Tuesday night where we are. That collaboration is key. And I'm gonna throw this in, and then I'm gonna shut up. You have to learn how to turn obstacles into opportunities.
Yes.
See, before what the obstacle that we were going through in 2020, the opportunity may not have existed to collaborate on such a large scale as we've been forced to do out of necessity of keeping our businesses alive. So that's where the collaboration that you did before the obstacle came turns into the opportunity after the obstacle presents itself.
Exactly. Don't forget, turn obstacles into opportunities.
Who think differently. Say that again for those that are taking notes. Surround yourself with like-minded people who think differently, because that's the way we grow and that's the way we learn. And that's one of the things that I've learned about being in an environment to where there are people who have similar goals and aspirations. but they have different approaches to getting there. And that's how you can learn from them. Now, as far as collaboration goes in our businesses, it's identifying those areas that we need the most help in, and then finding someone to fill that need. That's how you really begin to get ahead in collaboration. That's how you really begin to get ahead with your business. You have to identify, and if you have problems doing that, there are people out there that can help you do an assessment, even of your own business, where you are, show you where you're falling short or seeing stuff that you can't really see. Like Les Brown oftentimes said, you can't see the picture when you're in the frame. Sometimes it takes somebody from outside to come and look and see what you're missing in order to give you a laundry list or a grocery list of things that you need to address, or areas that you need to shore up in order for your business to thrive and survive. And so I know the importance of being able to actually identify individuals, identify areas of need, and then finding individuals that can help you in those areas. And again, you have to have something of value for there to be collaboration. There has to be that mutually beneficial relationship. So what is it that you can do to help somebody? What asset, what resources, what product or service do you have that somebody else needs? Because that's going to determine whether or not they're willing or able to collaborate with you. So understanding your own value, but then seeing their value as well, and acknowledging both, and then working together to achieve that common goal. So yeah.
That's a great comment, and that's going to be a great segue into what we're going to be talking about in the second half of the show as we talk about leadership. And you know what? I'm going to take this opportunity while we are waiting for our host to come back in, because if you're watching, if you're just tuning in, this may not look like the typical Ignite and Take Flight show. You know, I am not Lotus Richey, but we are on the Lotus Richey Ignite and Take Flight, and we are doing our best to collaborate in her absence to make sure that you guys get this information. I'm Terrence, the Unstoppable Coach Leffridge with Unstoppable Coaching Services, and this brother to my left or to your right, depending on how you're looking at the screen, is the founder of the Next Level Leadership Summit and SacconiPrince.com, Mr. Sacconi Prince. If you are picking up what he's putting down, then as Lotus always says, I want you to put a number 7 in the feed. If you're picking up what Sacconi just put down about collaboration, put a number 7 in the feed. As we recognize Aaliyah Darnell, she's watching us from Florida. She says, this is a great topic. Awesome. Thank you, Aaliyah, for watching. Go ahead and share, and maybe go ahead and start a watch party while you're at it. And we've got Angela Edding again from DC. We've got Harris watching us from the Philippines. And we got Triple P, who said, hello, Lotus Richey. And so as we continue to talk about collaboration, Sacconi, Lotus gave us a couple of questions that she wanted to make sure that we talked about. So let's see if we can jump into some other of those questions real quick. So one of the questions that she asked was, of course, she wanted to know from you, what inspires you to collaborate, especially with other entrepreneurs? I mean, you can collaborate with your homies, you can collaborate with your employees in your business, but what inspires you to collaborate with other entrepreneurs?
When you, once again, surround yourself with like-minded people, when you understand their struggle and where they are, because you're, quite frankly, in that same place and space yourself, it puts you in a place to where just as much help as you want somebody to give you, you give them. Just as much energy, as much encouragement, enthusiasm, and sharing the resources that you want somebody to do with you, you gladly do with them, because you know exactly where they are and what they're dealing with. You can understand and empathize and sympathize with them, and then you can do what is necessary in order to make the difference in their life. And I can tell you one thing. It's almost like seeing somebody that's trying to push a car. Even if you don't have the physical strength and fortitude to help them push their car, you can ride behind them with your flashes on, or you can get out and you can direct traffic. I mean, there's something that everybody can do, but that only happens as they see somebody trying to accomplish something, trying to do something. That's when people come along and help you. We recently went through Hurricane Sally here in Mobile, Alabama, and our neighbor's tree fell almost to our house. It was close enough I could open up my daughter's bedroom window and reach out and touch the top of the tree. So there was a portion that was on our property. So I was out there cutting with the chainsaw. I turned around and there was a neighbor from across the street. She was coming to help me. Now, I didn't ask, I didn't solicit, but she saw me out there trying to do something. I wasn't just out there looking at it saying, oh, there's a tree. I was trying to get it cut up. She started to come and started to help. And then 5 minutes later, her husband joined her. So I'm cutting up and they're taking stuff and putting it out on the street. The lesson I learned was this. If I would have stayed in the house, wasn't nobody going to show up and say, hey, look, you need any help. But when they saw me out there doing something, they came out to help. So collaboration is really about what are you doing and who sees it and how can they help you. But then in the process, it's also the other way around. When you see other people around you that are striving to actually get their business to work, to get it to grow, if you see something that they missed or something that they don't see, bring to their attention. If you have resources, you have people that you know that can help them. Connect people, collaborate. You become a resource. Again, you become an asset and not an invoice. You're not there for just how much money you can get, but you're there to help, and you're mutually helping each other. And so to me, that's worth more than money, because again, you could be an invoice or you could be an asset. I'd rather be an asset.
I love it. And I think our number one asset,
Yes.
Lotus Shay, is coming back online. Hey, Lotus.
Yes, hey. And I love it too. I love what you said. Connect and Hi, many people are looking for ways to enhance their business and expand their reach on social media. Well, if you're one of those people, look no further. Just join the StreamYard introduction on October 15th at 3 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time, hosted by Miss Ignite&TakeFlight herself, Lotus Rashay, and the visibility strategist, Miss Patricia Rogers, along with Randy Ward and Regeline Sabbath, as they host the StreamYard introduction. Get in front of the people that you want to be seen by to turn your leads into conversions. See you there. Remember, October 15th, 3 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. EDD time. Get your tickets on Eventbrite now. be an asset. Don't be an invoice. I love that you said that. So folks are streaming in from all over. I want to say hi to Miss Darnell. She's all the way from Florida. She said, this is a great topic. Awesome. And of course, we've got Angela Eltine. She's in from Washington, D.C. We've got Harris Tay from the Philippines that's joining us. And I don't know, Rashawn Lockhart came on earlier and he said, hello, cuz. I wanted to make sure we got that because we don't want to miss that. So thank you for joining in as we are talking about this awesome discussion tonight where we are saying and asking questions. Collaboration, does it cultivate currency? Yes, it can cultivate currency if we become an asset and not a liability. So we're going to take a quick break and we're going to come right on back. So get your pen and pad. Why? Because note takers are money makers. And since you're here tonight, you want to show up and be a note taker because we want to help you be a money maker. So we'll be right back.
Welcome to the Lotus Crochet Ignite Show. We are here to inspire and empower you and ignite the fire of success within you so that you can ignite and take flight in every area of your life. We are here tonight with another great show with another powerful influencer that is intended to be here just for you.
All right, what can I say? What can I say? So, as you see, we have a multitude of people that come on the show, but we only bring on the best of the best because we don't want you to stress with the rest of the mess. So, Terrence Lethbridge is Mr. Unstoppable himself. He is a coach and he has his own Mr. Unstoppable show. And we also have none other than the amazing leadership expert, Mr. Sakoni Prince, here with us tonight as we're discussing collaboration and how it cultivates currency. So, Sakoni, I love that you were talking about earlier, encouraging people not to be a invoice and be a asset. So let's talk about a little more about collaboration because you guys have a summit coming up and it's going to be phenomenal. So can you tell us a little bit about the summit?
Well, our summit is called the Next Level Leadership Summit. It's going to be October 8th through the 10th, and it's going to be online. And we are so excited because we are going to be exploring and talking about 7 different areas of leadership. The first area is inner leadership. The second area is outer leadership. We have corporate leadership, organizational leadership, male leadership, female leadership, and youth leadership. And somebody said, why do you have all those different categories? Because believe me, there is a different approach to inner leadership, from corporate leadership, or from youth leadership. There are different approaches you have to take. There's no one size fits all. And so we got all these experts that are going to be doing workshops that are going to, it's going to be a phenomenal time. And we're actually calling it a leadership party because it's going to be a fun and interactive experience, which is going to help people to become effective leaders.
Awesome. I love it. And I want to share a little bit about the leadership function, if I may. So what I want to do is let you guys know right off the bat that you can go right here and get a ticket because it is on Eventbrite. So you don't want to miss this. You can go right here, go to Eventbrite and get your ticket. It's October 8th. You don't want to miss it. So Sakoni, can you tell us a little bit more about the folks that you're going to have on this leadership summit?
Well, I hate to start with myself, but since I'm doing inner leadership, I'm going to be talking about inner leadership and the importance of being able to lead oneself.
Yes.
Next up, my coach is going to be talking about outer leadership. Now, this is one that had people scratching their heads. It's like, why do you have outer leadership, but you have corporate leadership or organizational leadership? Outer leadership is leading in a crisis. You weren't hired for the position. You weren't elected to the post, but someone needs to step up. And so my coach, Dr. Ruben West, he's going to be talking about outer leadership. Then we have Wesley P. Ryan. He's going to be talking about corporate leadership, which is leading for a profit. Now, he's going to help you understand how you motivate people that are in a corporate environment. But then Billy Boyer, he's going to be talking about organizational leadership, which is leading for a cause. And there's a different set of dynamics with rallying people around a cause than it is around a dollar. Next up, we have male leadership, which is going to be taught by none other than Mr. Unstoppable himself, Coach Terrence Ledridge. He's going to talk about male leadership, which, as we define it, is leading with logic. Now, that doesn't mean that women don't have logic, but we're talking about the most dominated points or trait that men have and how to lead them. Monique Tucker, she's going to talk about female leadership, which is leading with heart. Now, again, that's not to say that men don't have heart, but when we talk about the most dominant trait, understanding what actually helps to actually lead a group of women is what's heart-centered. That she's going to cover. And then we have none other than Reverend Fred Robinson. He's going to talk about youth leadership, which is leading with hope. And that's preparing our youth for the future. So with all the different categories, we're going to be able to hit we're going to leave no stone unturned when it comes to equipping people to be a better leader.
Now, I know you all have all of this going on. You've got, you covering every base. You've got the inner leadership. You've got the outer leadership. You've got corporate leadership, organizational, male and female leadership. Now, he has not left anybody out because he also has incorporated youth leadership. But check this out. I heard you have a DJ.
Yes, we do. We do. We have Dr. Michael Freeland. DJ Mike J is going to be our DJ for the event. And he is a corporate DJ. He was at my event last year, back when we had it live in New Orleans, and just set the place on fire. One thing I love about DJ Mike J is that he pays so close attention. You would think everything was scripted, but he knows the right song to play at the right time to actually keep everything moving and going great. So I'm excited to have him be a part of it as well. So it's going to be an incredible time. I can't hear you.
Here we go. There we go. We back on the mic. So with that being said, I want to say, wow, it is going to be a great time with DJ Mike J. Freeland. And I got to tell you, Saccone, this summit is going to be amazingly incredible.
Yes.
I'm really looking forward to it. And we've been sharing with the folks how they can go on and buy their ticket. You talked about the different types of leadership that it's going to be. And, a lot of people don't really talk about inner leadership.
Right.
So we talked a little bit about that last night, but it was the three of us. So now it's the two of us, just the two of us.
That's it.
Maybe you could talk a little bit more about the inner leadership. Why is inner leadership so important?
Inner leadership is important because it drives you when no one else is around and when nothing else is going on.
Yes.
You need to have that type of fire inside of you because it's what keeps you focused on your goal. Not being able to actually lead yourself is critical. It can be detrimental to you, especially when you find yourself in other areas of leadership, because people say, well, how can you expect me to lead and you're not? How can you expect me to do it? You're not holding yourself accountable.
Exactly.
So being able to actually hold yourself accountable and to become the best possible version of yourself. Michael Jordan was once asked during a basketball camp, how do you be the best? And he said, demand the best of yourself, and then you can demand the best of others. And so that to me is the cornerstone of leadership, because you can't demand the best of other people if you haven't demanded the best of yourself.
All right. I really like that. So, folks, we're going to take a quick break and then we're going to come back and we're going to ask Sakoni to talk a little bit more about the outer leadership component. So go ahead and get your notepad and get your pen, because note takers are money makers. And if you're really ready to change your life for the better, change your business for the better, make more money than you ever made before, now is the time to take notes, because we're going to talk about the nooks and crannies of this next level leadership summit. We'll be right back. Hi, many people are looking for ways to enhance their business and expand their reach on social media. Well, if you're one of those people, look no further. Just join the StreamYard introduction on October 15th at 3 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time, hosted by Miss Ignite&TakeFlight herself, Lotus Richey, and the visibility strategist, Miss Patricia Rogers, along with Randy Ward and Regeline Sabbath, as they host the StreamYard introduction. Get in front of the people that you want to be seen by to turn your leads into conversions. See you there. Remember, October 15th, 3 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. EDD time. Get your tickets on Eventbrite now. All right, and we are back. And so, folks, for those of you that's just joining us, I have done a remix, a replay from our show last night. Why? Because we are here to help people do a myriad of things, but most importantly, to turn their collaboration into currency. And in order to really know how to do that, you have got to go to the next level leadership summit that's coming up. And I've got the founder of that summit, Mr. Sakoni Prince. I call him the king of leadership. And here tonight, we are talking about how you can turn your collaboration into currency. But it takes leadership to get you there and the know-how. So right now, we talked a little bit about inner leadership. So now, Sakoni, if you would tell everybody a little bit more about the outer leadership.
Well, outer leadership is really leading in a crisis. I mean, again, you're not elected to the position, you didn't apply for it, but leadership is needed. And it's one of the situations where you kind of have to play the what if game, so that you'll be prepared just in case something happens. Most of us have actually had an opportunity to fly on airplanes. And if you sit in the exit row seat, one of the first things they ask you is, are you willing to help the people if in the event of an emergency?
Right.
Well, outer leadership, it helps you to prepare yourself just in case you are needed in an emergency situation. Like you may be driving down the road and someone in front of you has a car accident. Well, you need to be calm, cool, and collected as much as you can, but yet it's still focused on getting them the help that they need. And it doesn't just have to be a car accident. It could be a tornado drill, a hurricane, a fire, whatever the situation is, but being able to have the skills needed to step up in the event that you have to lead. Yes. I think one of the reasons a lot of people avoid leadership is because they feel, well, I'm not prepared. Well, this summit is going to give you the tips and the tools you need to be prepared, even if you have to lead in a crisis situation. Having that sort of confidence, it helps better prepare you for your life, the fact that you find yourself living.
Yes, I love it. And I want to say hi to Ronald White all the way from Indonesia. We're happy to have you. And of course, we saw you earlier, Sabetta. Good to see you. Happy to have you. Let us know where you're chiming in from. We really appreciate it. So with that said, we want to go ahead and look at the corporate leadership, Sakoni, because so many people are in corporate America. They are managers, they are supervisors, and they're trying to lead people. But many times, even with all the degrees many of us have, we are not certain about how to have proper corporate leadership. So what made you add this to the summit?
Well, I wanted to add corporate leadership because that is leading for profit. And again, there's a different set of dynamics when it comes to leading people for a profit. There are different type motivations. And so understanding how to get the best out of your employees, how to create an environment that's going to be conducive for them to grow and to flourish and to thrive is what's going to make the difference between you and your competition, because that drives corporate morale and drives the culture, which also drives your profit and your profitability. Like when it comes to employees being able to produce what's needed in order for the company to grow.
I like that. And, a lot of people, I don't know if people really understand that when you have a corporate leadership, they do just what you said. It's leading for a profit. They're leading the corporation somewhere so that they can have a profit, so that they can, one, sustain the corporation, while they also pay for all the ladies and men and women, boys and girls, I should say, in the corporations as the corporation moves forward. I really like that. So if those of you that are out there that's ever been in a corporation and you didn't have the best type of leadership, or maybe you own your own corporation and you're trying to figure out how to lead your corporation in the right way so that you can make sure you have a profit and not a loss, where you can have an asset instead of just receiving invoices, you definitely want to check out this summit. Now, the other thing, Sakoni, oftentimes people don't know how to get organized within their corporations.
Right.
And so I see that you have also added to this summit a key component to success, and that's being organized with your organizational leadership. Can you talk a little bit about that? And who's going to be leading that one?
Well, Billy Boyer, he's doing a workshop for organizational leadership. Now, we added this component of our summit simply because we know that there are places where people are serving. They're part of an organization, a nonprofit, in fact, maybe even a church or some sort of volunteer capacity. Well, when you're in an organization and not a corporation, again, there's a different set of dynamics and skill sets that's needed to run an organization. So that's why we wanted to make sure that we didn't leave this off, because when you're leading people that are volunteers, you have to make sure that you're helping them to understand that you're leading for a cause. That's what organizational leadership is, leading for a cause. So keeping that top of mind, making sure that everybody knows why they are there and what goal that you're trying to accomplish. So organizational leadership, all of us find ourselves volunteering in some capacity. In some areas, we're not getting paid. We weren't hired for the position, but we volunteered to be a part of the organization. And so getting the most out of those individuals, being able to talk to them in such a way to help them understand what our goals are and what we're trying to accomplish for the benefit of somebody else. Because most organizations, nonprofits, are for the benefit of somebody else. The corporate leadership, that's for the benefit of the bottom line. But organizational leadership is for the benefit of somebody else. So making sure that that's clear is so critical, because without that, people will have the wrong motives, they have the wrong ideas, and they will show up not in their best possible light. So that's why we included organizational leadership in our summit.
All right. I love that. And now this is another dynamic that you walked boldly into. Not only did you bring the male leadership, you also brought the female leadership component. And I know last night we had our dear brother, Mr. Unstoppable himself, Terrence Leffridge, who is going to be leading the male leadership component. So I know the male leadership component, you're not just talking to older men, but you're talking to younger men who are just stepping into manhood, if you will. So what really drove you to add this particular component?
Well, male leadership is not just for males, but it's how you lead a group of men. And the reason that we wanted to include this is because there are those individuals and those cases where you have a female that may be leading a group of males. So understanding the dominant trait that males tend to deal with as far as how to get them motivated, engaged, and involved. And so that's why we added this component in our summit, which is male leadership. And true, even for the younger generation that's coming up, giving them a framework, for them to actually hash out and actually draw out their leadership. But one of the things that I did with all of the workshop facilitators, I gave them an actual outline. And
Yes.
I did that so that each of them could hit certain points. But I told them, I said, look, I want you to add your own secret sauce to it. I want you to put your own spin on it, because I know that all of the individuals that that are involved in the summit, they are experts in their own right.
Yes.
And I didn't want to box them into, to just say exactly this, but I wanted to give them a framework. Well, that's what this summit is going to do. It's going to give you a framework for you to form and forge your own leadership style. But having
Yes.
the male leadership component was so critical, because there are going to be times when you find yourself leading a group of males, and you need to at least know what is the best approach. What is the dominant trait that drives the male psyche? And that's why we wanted to include this. And Terrence, he did an awesome job with his workshop showing how you can actually get the most out of any group of men, in fact, that you're leading.
Awesome. I love it. And the thing with this, ladies, I want you to hear me, ladies, because this is something that we didn't even talk about last night. And so this is another reason why I wanted to come back and do the replay, because there are a lot of women out there, and I am one included, because I have led many men in different capacities that I have served, whether it was in the military, if it was for Kodak, if it was for Johnson and Johnson, University of Phoenix, or even Quality Technology Services, the data center that I ran, or even being over security of a huge outfit. There were men that were under me. And I think what you just said is golden. We have to know as women also how to lead a group of men as well. So I love that you added that component, because it is definitely needed. So ladies, make sure you don't sleep on this one, because this one has a lot in it for you too. So let's
Yes.
talk about the female leadership. I know you've got a fantastic young lady coming to handle this part of the summit. You want to tell us who she is and why you added this component as well?
Well, her name is Monique Tucker, and she's going to be covering our female leadership workshop. And one of the reasons I added this component was for the same reason I added the male component. I wanted to distinguish them because, again, there's a different set of dynamics when leading a group of men and leading the group of women. Now, I would normally say that male leadership was leading with logic, and that's not to say that women don't have logic. But what's the most dominant trait? Well, female leadership is leading with heart, and that's not to say that men don't have heart. But what's the dominant trait? Understanding that getting to the heart of the issue, getting to heart-centered approach to leadership is going to help you if you're a male leading females. And so that's why I wanted to add this component, because Monique does an excellent job distinguishing and breaking out that aspect of leadership that, quite frankly, a lot of men are oblivious to. Because sometimes men try to lead women the same way they lead men, and then they wonder, why isn't it working? It's not working because you are going for one direction when you should be coming from another. So that's one of the reasons why we added this component of the workshops. And I am so excited because I know that she does a tremendous job communicating those truths.
Of course, I really like that. And last night we talked about being resourceful. And this is another way for the men out there. Those of you men that lead women on your jobs, or even in your own private businesses, sometimes you are in this pull and tug all the time, trying to understand, how can I lead this young lady? So here's your opportunity to learn some secret sauce about how you can just be the best that you can be when it comes to leading females in the business setting. And you know what? I would venture to say, ladies, make sure you are a part of this as well. Why? Because a lot of us lead other women, and sometimes we have a pull and a push between us when we're trying to lead other women. So there are going to be some golden nuggets here that we don't want to miss out. And guess what? There's an even greater component than that. Well, I don't want to say that, but there's an additional component. And it is great because a lot of us are having a disconnect with the different generations that we're leading, even with our children. So in his infinite wisdom, the king of leadership has also added another secret sauce component, and that is youth leadership. So, Connie, can you tell us why you added that and why is it so important for people to really understand youth leadership?
Youth leadership is leading with hope.
Mm-hmm.
Leading with hope, meaning that we spend time with our young people, helping them to understand about the future. They may not like the way things are right now, but they can change it. They can have a better tomorrow. They can take part in that process. So leading with hope is going to be that component of the summit. It helps.
Yes.
If you're leading young people, you always got to help them to look to the future. Because sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes if it's not 3 minutes away or 5 feet from them, they're not thinking about it.
Yeah.
And so helping them to see beyond the right now. Because I know I was young, I thought I would live forever. This year I hit 51. And I'm like, where did the time go? So I know how important it is to help shape our young people in those formative years and help them understand that you can change the course of your life with the decisions and choices that you make. And so giving them hope, giving them that they have a control in their destiny and where they're going, helping them to understand that you're not a victim, but you're a victor, and you can actually do it if you put your mind to it. But if we don't give them hope, they won't try.
Yeah.
They won't go. They won't put in the work. And so that's one of the reasons why we included this in the summer, because we didn't want to leave anybody out.
That's awesome. And you know, last night we talked about iron sharpens iron. So the question becomes, who are you sharpening? Are you sharpening yourself, but are you also sharpening other people around you? And that is the collaborative effort that we all can do one for another, because when we do a collaborative effort, it can cultivate currency. And I'm not just talking about dollars and cents. I'm talking about the type of currency that people can spend long or circulate, if you will, because if you circulate it, it will come back to you. They can circulate it long after even all the money is spent.
Yes.
So who are you sharpening and why? And so, Connie, I want to ask you, why is it so important for us to sharpen one another in a collaborative effort?
Well, no one person has it all together. I don't care how good you are at whatever it is you do, you have to rely on somebody else. And having people, and I said this last night, we need to surround ourselves with like-minded people who think differently, because that's how you learn and grow. But they have to be like-minded. They have to be goal-oriented. They have to be going somewhere. If you hang around with people that aren't trying to do anything, you're going to be another one. But if you surround yourself with people who have goals and dreams and ambitions, you seeing them go after their goal, it's going to make you want to go after yours. It's like a actual racer. You run faster when you're running against somebody else. But in this situation, when you see somebody else that's going after their goal, it inspires and motivates you to do the same. Yes. And so that's one of the reasons why it's important to have people around you. You know, I think it was Les Brown that said that, you know, you are the sum total of your 5 closest friends.
Yes,
so,
he did.
So who are your friends? Who are you hanging around? Who are you spending time with? Who are you investing your energy and your effort with? because that's going to determine where you're going to be in the next 5, 10, 20 years.
That's true. I concur. And now, if you want to sharpen yourself and you want to invest in yourself, make sure you invest in this summit, but also catch what's going on October 15th. I'm going to show you where you need to be as we help you with a StreamYard introduction that'll help expand your reach and enhance your business. We'll be right back. Hi, many people are looking for ways to enhance their business and expand their reach on social media. Well, if you're one of those people, look no further. Just join the StreamYard introduction on October 15th at 3 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time, hosted by Miss Ignite&TakeFlight herself, Lotus Richey, and the visibility strategist, Miss Patricia Rogers, along with Randy Ward and Regeline Sabbath, as they host the StreamYard introduction. Get in front of the people that you want to be seen by to turn your leads into conversions. See you there. Remember, October 15th, 3 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. EDD time. Get your tickets on Eventbrite now. All right. Super duper, super duper. So make sure you get your tickets. We are going to have an explosive time. And if those of you that know Miss Rogers, I'm telling you, you are in for an explosive treat. She's an amazing lady. And the supporting cast, if you will, they are also dynamite as well. So, Sakoni, let's take a couple of comments and we'll move it forward. So, hey, Takako Matsudaira, hi, coming all the way from Japan. Hey there, Tandra Price, good to see you. Happy to have you here. And folks, let us know where you're coming in from. I double dog dare you to put down where you're coming in from. See, these folks know how to come in. I love it. Hey, there she is. Hey there, Patricia Rogers. Now, those of you that don't know Patricia Rogers, make sure October the 15th, you are with us. Get your ticket from StreamYard for StreamYard introduction training on Eventbrite. And here you go. There, she's got it right there. Go to Eventbrite. StreamYard introduction. Go to StreamYard Eventbrite.com. You will be happy that you did. So thank you. We appreciate that, Pat. So, Sakoni, it is without question that you have hit all of the marks. You have made sure that you have gone from every possible conceivable area of leadership that would really cover everyone who's either being led or in a position of leadership. And that's amazing. And I know that you have a new book out. It's called Leadership That Lasts, of course, by Sakoni Prince. So can you tell us a little bit about the book?
This is going to be my 5th book, and I can't tell you how excited I am. The reason I'm excited is because just even doing this summit, even putting the summit on and putting it together, I know that there's a need to leave mile markers, if you will, for some people coming behind us. And this book, Leadership That Lasts, it gives you 10 principles to leave a lasting legacy. 10 principles to leave a lasting legacy. It really helps us to understand our dreams don't have an expiration date, but we do. And that means that we're not going to be here we are not going to be here forever. So we need to prepare the next generation. And we need to make sure that we set somebody up. You may have fallen in the ditch, but once you've gotten out, you can have somebody avoid that same pitfall, that same ditch that you fell in. But you have to be humble and honest enough to share your struggles, the stuff that you went through, to help propel them even further than you could ever go. That's what true leaders do. And I even talk about that in the book about Lee Iacocca, how he was considered, to be the genius and 1,000 monkeys, because he was the go-to person. He was the linchpin. But then once he left Chrysler, the company started going down because he didn't groom the next generation. Right. And I don't want that to be us. I want us to understand that, listen, in order for me to have a lasting legacy, I need to set somebody else up for success. And I need to start doing that now. Don't wait until you're on your deathbed or in a walker can barely move.
Mm-hmm.
That should be a part of your process, even now as leaders. I mean, really investing in the next generation so that they can do better than you did. And they will love you for it. They will appreciate you
Yes,
for taking that time to do that investment. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm
I
excited to share
concur.
that book because it is incredible.
Awesome. Awesome. And they can get that book on Amazon, correct?
Yes, it will be
Okay.
on Amazon once it's released, but I
Mm-hmm.
but I am giving away the first 3 chapters of the book for free for everybody who registered. So if you want to get
Wow.
the first 3 chapters, and you can see, I'm telling you, once you read those 3 chapters, you can't wait until the book is finished because I am in the process of finalizing it now, and I'm getting to the editor. But I have the first 3 chapters already done, and they are ready for release as a free gift for those who register. So once you
Wow.
register, I will get your registration and I will send you a link so you can read those first 3 chapters. And believe me, once you finish those, you can be like, where the rest of it at? Because it is just that impactful. It is just that
I
powerful.
like it. I like it. And I tell you, so many people are saying, it's COVID still. I'm not going anywhere. Well, guess what? You don't have to leave the comfort of your home because the summit will be online. The summit will be online. So make sure you go ahead and get your tickets now. Go right to Eventbrite. You can't be stopped. Go right to Eventbrite and get your ticket. Get your ticket now. And when you get your ticket, you are going to get the first 3 chapters, of his new book, Leadership That Lasts by Sakoni Prince. I call him the king of leadership. So with that being said, please make sure you go there. Let's see. Love the commercial. Okay. Yes, you'll have a blast. She says, yes, you're going to have a blast. And I'm happy that you have you love the commercial. So thank you so much, Patricia. She's awesome. And speaking of commercials, Sakoni, we want to touch bases with some folks on the commercial, if you will, that is coming up for the event for the Next Level Leadership Summit. So let's talk a little bit about that. Let's get right into it. Here is the commercial. Enjoy.
Looking for the best way to maximize the pool of talent you have? Looking to equip your leaders with the skills they need to lead more effectively? Ready to develop your workforce into a mission-driven organization? Well, then you need to make sure they attend the Next Level Leadership Summit. This Next Level event will focus on preparing your leaders to effectively carry out your company, organization, or group's mission statement, while creating a culture that is conducive for growth. Next Level Leadership Summit, October 8th through the 10th, 2020 in Atlanta, Georgia.
All right. Make sure you get your tickets now because after all, who's going to give you 3, not 1, not 2, but 3 free chapters of their book that's
Yes,
coming your way? I don't
yes,
know who's
yes,
going to do it, but I know, well, I don't know nobody else who's going to do it, but I know who's going to do it here. Mr. Sakoni Prince, right out
right.
of his new book, Leadership That Lasts. So make sure you go right there to Eventbrite and get your ticket. So I wanted to ask you, when the people get their ticket, and they contact you, or is it automatic that they get the 3 chapters? How does that work?
Well, once they register, I
Mm-hmm,
will get a notification for
mm-hmm.
everybody that registers, and I will be sending out that actual link to
Mm-hmm.
that giveaway. Uh,
Awesome.
and actually, in fact, come to think of it, I can go in and actually add it because in the confirmation email
Mm-hmm.
that people get once they register, there is a link to where the videos are
Mm-hmm.
and where the live event will be. And there's a password to access that. So that's in the confirmation email. I
Right.
can go in and I can add that link to that as well. I
Okay.
just
Awesome.
actually, I did that specifically for your show because I knew that
Yes.
your listeners were going to actually take advantage of this opportunity. And so once
Thank
we
you.
finish up this live, I'm actually going to go in and I'm going to add that link to that confirmation email,
Awesome.
and it's going to already be there so they can
Mhm.
start immediately, so they won't have to wait for me to respond to an email. It'll be included in the confirmation, but again, it has to be the confirmation email. It
Yes.
has to be the one. Once you've registered, you'll get all that information and you will be ready to go. So yeah.
That is awesome. That is awesome. I had someone join us last night, and she was joining us all the way from Africa. And I got to tell you, she was super duper interested and I shouldn't say was, she is super duper interested in going to this summit. So she wanted to know more about the summit. And that's one of the things that inspired me to come on tonight and do what I'm doing, because people really want to know. She's a
Right.
leader in her own right, actually,
Right.
over in Africa, but she saw the value of how you have taken the time to structure a summit that's going to enhance people's lives globally, and not
Yes.
just some people, but everybody that attends, that is even within earshot of the summit.
Yes. Yes.
So amazing.
Yes. Yes.
So if you had any words of wisdom to give out to someone tonight that's a young entrepreneur that's trying to make their way in this world, what would your words of wisdom be to them?
I want to encourage you to solidify your why. And what I mean by that is make it solid. Make it that you know why you're doing what you're doing. Because, and this goes back to inner leadership, when there's no one there cheering you on, and there's no one there singing your praises, are you going to stop? Are you doing it for a cause, or are you doing it for applause? And if you are doing it for applause, when people stop cheering, you'll stop working, you'll stop going. But if you're doing it for a cause, come hell or high water, you're going to be on your post and doing your best to serve those around you. And so for the young
Yes.
entrepreneur that's out there, you need to make sure that you understand what your why is. And then that needs to become your mission statement. And everybody that's coming along to help you, they need to buy into that vision that you have. But in order for them to buy into it, you have to know what it is, first of all. And then you have to be able to communicate that to them in such a way to where they say, I want to help you. I want to be on board. I want to be a part of what you're doing. Because believe it or not, somebody else's vision, somebody else's goal is tied up in yours. But if you
Yes.
never put it out, they'll never know. They will never know. There was there was this exercise that I participated in at this conference,
Hmm.
and basically everybody, and this is a way they actually did this to mix people up. They had a actual hat with a bunch of song names in it. I mean, these are
Hmm.
common songs like Mary Had a Little Ham,
Lamb.
Mary Had a Little Lamb, and Twinkle Twinkle Little
Hmm.
Star, and ABC. I mean, common songs that most everybody knew. And so
Hmm.
what they wanted you to do is they wanted you to pull one of the songs out of the hat, and then they want you to start not sing it, but hum
Hmm.
it. You couldn't sing it, but you had to hum it. And so, in the process of doing so, you had to find everybody else that had your song. And it was the funniest thing seeing a room full of adults going up to each other, going, like, no, no, that's not it. So then they go to some other, and I mean, it was so comical, but there was a lesson behind it all. Because once everybody found 8 people, because that's how many people that was sitting at the table,
Hmm.
they actually had to, they said, okay, look, we found all of our 8. And they would go up there and they would tell like what their song was.
Hmm.
The trick was that there was one song in there that didn't have anybody else's. No one else had it. It was just one person. And they would be like, well, I couldn't find my tribe.
Mm-hmm.
And the lesson was, if you don't put it out there,
Yep.
you won't be able to find those people who are looking for you. See, when you talk, somebody hears your voice. They hear what you have to say. They gravitate towards you. When I talk, the same thing is true.
Mm-hmm.
But then the people that gravitate towards you may not necessarily gravitate towards me, and vice versa.
Exactly.
But if you and I were somewhere sitting with our mouth closed, nobody will know what's in us. And just like that example, if you don't start humming, if you don't start putting it out, nobody can find out what it is you're all about, what your vision and what your passion is. So even as a young entrepreneur, being able to actually put that out, to put your why out there, and somebody else will see it and they'll be like, I want to line up with that. I want to be a part of that. I want to help you achieve your goal, because in helping you achieve yours, I'm achieving mine. It's back to that collaboration.
Yep.
And in the end, everybody can benefit.
And you know, I wanna do a special shout out to a special young lady, because she came on last night, and I gotta tell you, she just said some of the same things. She really enjoyed what you were saying, and she made a mention of it. So I want to send a special shout out to you, my dear friend Chika Kumle, because she is all the way in Nigeria, Africa. Yes. But she took the time to come on the broadcast last night, and the broadcast was fire. We had a couple of outages with the internet, but guess what? She still collaborated with us to make sure she got the message. So this is a special mention for you, Chika. We love you. We appreciate you. And say hello to the tribe in Nigeria. We appreciate you. Yes. So I got to tell you, I'm looking forward to the summit. I cannot wait till the summit comes up. So folks, for those of you that's just joining tonight, we are at the top, or we're actually a little bit past the hour as we begin to wrap up. And I hope you heard the final words of wisdom that Sekoni has given us here tonight. And for those of you that may have missed the advertisement, I'm going to share the advertisement with you again so that you can see the advertisement for the summit. It is going to be spectacular without a doubt. So I'm going to share the summit information with you again before we close. Here goes.
Looking for the best way to maximize the pool of talent you have? Looking to equip your leaders with the skills they need to lead more effectively? Ready to develop your workforce into a mission-driven organization? Well, then you need to make sure they attend the Next Level Leadership Summit. This Next Level event will focus on preparing your leaders to effectively carry out your company, organization, or group's mission statement, while creating a culture that is conducive for growth. Next Level Leadership Summit, October 8th through the 10th, 2020 in Atlanta, Georgia.
All right. Make sure you get your tickets now. Make sure you get your tickets now to get your 3 free chapters from Sekoni's new book, and you are going to love it. The name of the book is Leadership That Lasts. So with that being said, I want to thank you all for joining us. We appreciate you, and we look to see you on the summit. And so, Sekoni, you want to tell them again when the summit is going to be?
The summit is going to be October 8th through the 10th, and it's going to be online. I know the video said Atlanta, Georgia, and we were really looking forward to having it in Atlanta. Unfortunately, COVID changed all those plans, but we still did not want this year to go out without offering this top-notch, top-level, top-shelf event. And so we moved it online. So no matter where you are, you can be a part of this event. And so I am so excited because we put in a lot of work. We have an incredible workbook. The workbook itself is worth the price of admission. I mean, just the workbook But then you have these incredible speakers that are going to be actually taking a deep dive into those subjects and giving you the information that's going to help you be a more effective leader. And I'm going to be doing a keynote that Saturday afternoon, which is going to really just tie everything back together. And I am so excited about that because it's going to allow me, in fact, to really speak to the heart of everybody that attends and really help them to understand what's possible with them and their leadership. So I'm excited.
Awesome, awesome. And I am super excited too. Don't forget, go to Eventbrite and get your ticket now. You will not be disappointed. So I thank you so much, Saucony, the masterful king of leadership. I thank you for being on with me again tonight. And I'm looking forward to the summit and doing many more things with you in the years to come. So everybody, yes.
I just want to say, I want to thank you again for your platform and for your reach and for you allowing me an opportunity to actually share with your audience, because I value that. I don't take that for granted. I appreciate you for not only just the person who you are, but the things that you do to help make this world a better place. And it's needed. And we need more people like you that's willing to actually put yourself out there to help benefit somebody else. And so again, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And folks, if you have a business, you're an entrepreneur, and you need your commercial shown, don't hesitate. Catch up with myself or Saucony, and we'll get your commercial played during our broadcast. So in the meantime and in between time, make sure you get your pen and your pad, because note takers are money makers. And always remember to ignite and take flight in every area of your life. And make sure you join us on October 15th for the StreamYard introduction with me and Patricia Roberts. And until we see each other again, take care. I'll see you on Friday with more news you can use. Don't forget, at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then again, meet us with Bring Who You Are this coming Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have got a knockout show both nights you don't want to miss. Until then, be blessed, and we'll see you next time. Ignite and take flight in every area of your life. Good night. Hi, many people are looking for ways to enhance their business and expand their reach on social media. Well, if you're one of those people, look no further. Just join the StreamYard introduction on October 15th at 3 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time, hosted by Miss Ignite and Take Flight herself, Lotus Richey, and the visibility strategist, Miss Patricia Rogers, along with Randy Ward and Regeline Sabbath, as they host the StreamYard introduction. Get in front of the people that you want to be seen by to turn your leads into conversions. See you there. Remember,